Hey y'all, it's Big B or Brian Longshore. I wanted to do a quick video this morning about sharpening and some of the things I've learned as a turner that have helped me to really, progress my skills to another level. A lot of people ask, what's the one thing that in your time you've been turning that's really kind of pushed you past what you thought you could do? And it always returns to sharpening for me, because once I was taught the correct way and showed, and talked about the importance of repeatability, it really, made me understand what I was doing and actually how to use the tool properly too. So a friend really now that's in the local turners group down here in Florida where I'm at, named Rudy Lopez, I'm sure a lot of you guys will recognize that name, kind of taught me, some of the things that he does. And so anyway, here goes. First thing is you got to have a grinder set up. You can do a 6-inch. I think preferred is 8-inch grinder, but you certainly can do a 6-inch. Again, it's all about repeatability and, some kind of jig set up so that, you can keep, your setup in a repeatable, consistent setup. These adjust out, and what you're doing when you're making adjustments to these here is you're changing the angle on your blade or on your tool, if you will. This is a 1/2-inch V-bowl gouge, Doug Thompson. Now, I've been lucky. I've been able to get a set, of his tools, a decent, set of his tools. And one thing's for sure, I don't want to waste a lot of metal. So I need to have repeatable cuts to take off the least amount of metal instead of constantly grinding and changing the shape and trying to get it back to another shape. I want repeatability because I don't want to waste his tools, because, I'm not the kind of person who can just keep buying tools. So what I do is every time I use a Sharpie to check if I'm where I need to be on my cut. So I'll Sharpie up mark up the top here, and I know that this is a 40-degree angled jig, vary grind they call it. And if I put it here on my mark that I've set for 40 degrees, and again, once you set this up, if you leave it, you'll never have to change it again. You just simply move the tool. Here's a 2-inch gap that I set on the tool. Some people use 1.5 inches. I use a 2-inch. Again, it's all about repeatability and how you get it set up, the angle from the center of the wheel back here. And what I do is I'll just rotate here, and then I'll take and I'll look, and I'll want to see where I'm at. Am I repeatable? And I think the answer is yes. I think I'm pretty close. So I can probably slick this thing over, run this thing through one time, and have a new edge, a new burr on the top. So I've taken minimal steel off of here and put a really nice edge on it. And I'll do that here right now real quick for you, just to kind of show you how quick you can re-hone your edge. And I'm trying to make it smooth as possible. Now I got big hands, I'm a clumsy guy, so and that should be it. I mean, we've literally sharpened the whole tool, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I've taken all of the black off of that tool, basically, exception of here. But I'm not too worried because I mainly use this edge here for now on what I'm doing. So I've sharpened this tool that quickly, taking the minimal amount of steel off. So to me, that's good, because I know when I go back in that bowl, I'm going to be cutting the same way. I'm going to use the same form every time when I'm riding the bevel. One of the next things that I like to do, and I learned this again from Rudy Lopez, again, who showed me some really neat tricks. He's a wonderful guy, really a great turner if you guys want to look him up. I don't think he's on social media, but he's down here in Florida. He taught me, you take a 1-inch block here when you're done, put it in here in your holder. What you're going to do is you're going to put a little bevel right here on the edge of the bottom here. So you got your horizontal line here from the tool, and then you're 40 degrees off of that. And we're going to put a little bevel right here. And that's just to help you when you're in that bowl, kind of turn, I don't want to say turn the corner, but really that's what it is. It's going to keep you from bouncing around in there. It's going to provide a smooth transition off the bevel kind of thing. And so watch here what I'm talking about. It's really super quick, super simple. And if you look, you've put a slight little bevel that you can ride when you're in there, and you don't have to worry about getting catches and whatnot. And you can transition really well. Again, 1-inch block. I think Rudy put a earth magnet in here and on this side so that it would kind of hold, and I should do that too, but maybe that's the next project. Another neat trick is, with these grinders, now I don't have a mask on right now. I should, I like to preach safety, but for this video, I just wanted to do something real quick here this Sunday morning. These earth magnets right here, if you look, I've just put them all over this grinder. And if you look, there's little buildups on them. And Rudy Lopez showed me this, and they're harmless. They don't get in the way, but this metal that it pulls out of the air, I mean, that's some nasty stuff to keep inhaling that in. And when people are in your shop, you kind of want to keep that out of the air if you can. I just thought it was neat, and so it's a neat little trick. You can just throw a bunch of metal or magnets here all over this thing, and it'll pull probably a good portion of those metal pieces as they fly off the grinder onto them, keep them out of your, of course, I always wear either a respirator or a mask. But yeah, okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to show y'all. Again, someone asked me what, and I know a lot of the older turners always get the question, what's the one thing that helps improve your turning the most? For me, it's undoubtedly it's sharpening and learning how to sharpen and learning how to use the tools that you have. You can take the best tool in the world. These Doug Thompsons are probably, they're the best I've ever owned. And if you don't have it sharpened correctly, and you don't, how can you know how to use it if you don't have it sharpened correctly? And it won't cut any better than a Harbor Freight tool. Now that's probably a little exaggeration. His steel's, I'm sure, is a lot better than Harbor Freight tool steel. I know it is, but still, my point is you have to know how to sharpen the tools you have, because you can develop a foundation and learn how to actually use the tools that you spent, made the big investment on. So anyway, this is Big B, Brian Longshore, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Take care.